Ever wondered why you love IKEA furniture, even when it is cheap? Harvard researchers found that people will pay 63% more for something they built themselves, not because it is better made, but because the brain mistakes effort for value. IKEA didn't stumble onto this. They engineered an entire system around it, from the moment you walk through those doors to the last screw you tighten. In a Harvard lab, volunteers faced a simple challenge: build a flat-pack IKEA box, or receive the same box already assembled. Afterward, researchers asked each person how much they would pay to take the box home. The twist? On average, those who built it themselves were willing to pay 63% more than those handed a finished product. This was not about craftsmanship or quality. The boxes were identical. The difference came down to effort. Michael Norton, one of the study's authors, explained that the act of building transforms an ordinary object into something personal, almost like a trophy for your labor. But there was a catch. If the build failed or the box was taken apart afterward, that extra value vanished. The pride only stuck when the project reached the finish line. The effect was so strong, researchers coined it the IKEA effect. Anyone can try this at home. Assemble a simple shelf or even a paper airplane. Then ask yourself what it is worth when you are done. The numbers do not lie. Effort creates attachment, and attachment inflates value, whether you are aware of it or not. In 1956, a young Ingvar Kamprad faced a problem that would change not only his business, but the way millions furnish their homes. He was shipping a table from a Swedish supplier, but the freight costs were eating into his razor-thin margins. The solution came almost by accident. Kamprad asked the supplier to take the legs off the table so it could fit flat in the back of a truck. The savings were immediate and dramatic. By sending furniture in pieces, he could pack more into every shipment, slash costs, and undercut competitors. But there was a catch. Someone had to put it all back together. That someone became the customer. This single decision launched the flat pack revolution and handed assembly over to the buyer. On the surface, it looked like a simple way to save money. Underneath, it set the stage for a new kind of shopping experience, one where effort and ownership became part of the deal. The logistics of cheap shipping turned into a psychological hook, with every Allen key twisting the connection a little tighter. The Billy bookcase stands as IKEA's best-selling icon, but its reputation for value hides a trade-off few shoppers consider. Each shelf is rated to hold 30 kilograms, enough for a row of hardcovers, but push beyond that and the particle board begins to sag. Independent durability tests confirm it. After months of steady weight, the shelves can bow by several millimeters, even while staying within the official warranty. Still, online reviews overflow with pride from owners who built their Billy themselves, describing it as a bargain that feels custom-made. The Lack coffee table tells a similar story. It can be built in under 10 minutes, with a top designed for light use and a load limit that is easy to exceed. In one durability demo, testers loaded the table until the legs wobbled and the surface cracked, well beyond the intended 2-kilogram rating. Yet, the satisfaction of snapping the last piece into place seems to override doubts about longevity. Furniture quality expert Rao points out that while the experience is engineered for a sense of accomplishment, the materials are chosen for price, not endurance. The premium, in most cases, lives in the mind of the assembler, not in the wood or screws. Every IKEA visit starts with a subtle nudge. There's only one way in and almost no way out until you've walked the entire floor. The store's famous maze isn't just a quirk of Swedish design, it's a calculated strategy. Instead of letting shoppers wander freely, IKEA funnels everyone through a looping corridor lined with fully staged rooms. Each turn reveals a new kitchen, living room, or bedroom, each one packed with carefully arranged products. There are no shortcuts or easy exits. The path is designed to keep you moving forward, exposing you to as many items as possible, whether you plan to see them or not. Internal diagrams show that this forced route increases the time people spend in the store, what retail experts call dwell time, by up to 18% compared to traditional layouts. The more time you spend, the more likely you are to spot something you didn't know you needed. And with every extra minute, the chance of an impulse purchase goes up. By the end of the journey, most shoppers have seen hundreds of products, often without realizing how much their choices have been shaped by the path beneath their feet. Room after room, IKEA's staged vignettes pull shoppers into a world that feels lived in and attainable. Each setup is more than a display. It's a carefully crafted scene, complete with soft throws, open books, and even half-drunk mugs on the table. These details aren't random. They anchor expectations, making the price tags feel like a bargain for a slice of that cozy life. Studies show that seeing products in context can lift conversion rates by 15% and boost perceived usefulness by over a quarter. For families, the Samaland play area acts as a secret weapon. While children dive into ball pits or build their own mini furniture, parents are free to roam the maze uninterrupted. Internal performance data reveal that stores with Smaland see an average basket size increase of about 8%. The effect lingers, kids leave with fond memories, and parents associate the brand with an easy, positive outing. All the while, subtle sensory cues work in the background. Warm lighting mimics daylight, pine and citrus scents drift through the air, and the music stays slow and steady. Environmental psychologists have found that these cues can raise perceived product quality by up to 30%, even when the actual materials haven't changed. The result is a shopping trip that feels comfortable, familiar, and just a bit more luxurious than the price tag would suggest. Each layer of comfort and distraction nudges shoppers to linger, relax, and fill their carts a little higher. Ownership bias is more than a marketing trick. It is grounded in how the brain processes effort and reward. When you assemble a flat-pack table or snap the final shelf into place, your brain lights up in areas linked to value and self-identity. Neuroimaging studies using fNIRS show that the prefrontal cortex becomes more active during self-assembly, especially when the task takes from 5 to 30 minutes. That is the sweet spot. Too little effort and the sense of ownership fades. Too much, and frustration sets in. Within this window, the act of building creates a personal stake, triggering what psychologists call the endowment effect. You start to see the furniture as yours, more valuable than the identical piece on the showroom floor. This is not just a feeling, it is a measurable change in how people price, protect, and talk about their purchases. The process also taps into effort, justification, and commitment. Once you have invested time and energy, Your mind works overtime to justify the choice, reinforcing loyalty to both the product and the brand. Even the emotional high at the end of a build, when the last screw goes in, colors your memory of the entire experience, a pattern known as the peak end rule. These internal responses are why IKEA's tactics do not just nudge you in the store, they reshape what you value long after you leave. IKEA describes its approach as democratic design built on 5 pillars: form, function, quality, sustainability, and low price. The company argues that these principles make good design accessible to everyone, not just those with deep pockets. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword in their marketing. By shipping furniture flat, IKEA claims it can reduce shipping volume by up to 60%, which cuts the carbon footprint of each product by around 15% compared to traditional furniture. The streamlined logistics help keep prices low, while supporting the argument that affordability and environmental responsibility can go hand in hand. On paper, it is a case for smart, efficient design that benefits both consumers and the planet. Cheap furniture comes with a hidden cost: disposability. Critics argue that when products are designed to be affordable and easy to replace, they encourage a throwaway mindset. Particle board and low-grade hardware might keep prices down, but they rarely survive a move or years of heavy use. Some experts have called for mandatory durability labels, so shoppers know the expected lifespan before buying. One proposal suggests a simple rating. It would say how many times a piece can be assembled, disassembled, or moved before it fails. Another practical rule is cost per use. Divide the price by the number of years or moves you expect to get. A $50 table that lasts 5 years costs $10 per year, less if it survives a few apartments, more if it crumbles after one. Armed with these tools, buyers can look past the showroom and judge whether the bargain is real or just cleverly packaged. Every time you tighten a bolt or wander that maze of a showroom, you are not just buying furniture, you are investing in a feeling. Today, companies everywhere are engineering experiences that blur value and self-worth. The real question: are you choosing what you love or loving what you are told to choose?